Hi, and welcome to the Art of Spiritual Sleep. My name is Wendy Rosenthal, and I am your co-host alongside Kabbalistic sleep and dream expert and very happy person, and you'll know why I say that in a minute, Mordechay Balas.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful day.
We are very excited to have you here. Each week, we join you with Kabbalistic insights to the world, the vast world, the amazing world, the very deep world of sleep and dreams. Mordechay is sharing with us each week information that oftentimes has never been heard before, and all for the purpose of elevating your sleep, providing more clarity to your dreams, and therefore elevating and bringing clarity to your awakened day. So we want to thank you again for joining us. You know, our mission every week is to help all 7 billion plus people in the world sleep better and dream better. So we're very excited to be here again. We're right in the middle of our season where we're talking about the cosmic customer care. And before the last few weeks, we were talking about righteous souls, and we're now kind of entering the realm of angels and how to connect with angels. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And today's topic is how to align yourself, or the next few weeks are going to be about how to align yourself with the energy of angels and what you need to do that. And today's episode is on happiness. Yay!
That's correct.
So we want all of you to be extra happy during this episode. I know that not that we have to make an effort to be happy, but I know that Mordechay and I are going to be smiling a lot through this episode. We want to make sure that you are continually happy so that at the end of every single episode, we offer 2 features. One is called the language of dreams, where Mordechay shares a sleep symbol of the week so that you can interpret your own dreams and maybe even help others interpret theirs. And we have something to sleep on, where Mordechay gives you tips and meditations and exercises that you can use practically and daily in your life to better your sleep and dreams. So happily stay with us until the very end. Also, if you have any questions for us along the way, please feel free to put them in the comment box. And if we don't get to them during the episode, we will always swing back around and answer your questions during the week. All right. Mordechay, please say it for me. My favorite way to hear the word happiness. You do
happiness!
Happiness!
Yes, you can do it.
All right. I know you're starting off with a little recap of last week's episode in case somebody missed it, to tell us about how angels are part of our cosmic customer care system.
Right. So first of all, the name of the movie that we've discussed before is Lucy. That's the movie with Scarlett Johansson. If I'm pronouncing her name correctly.
From last week's episode. Okay.
Right, being connected to the limitless. The angels are simply a conduit, a bridge between the metaphysical and the physical reality. They have certain attributes, and they are there in a robotic positive consciousness to allow ourselves to tap into all the energy that is available. There is not even one atom, any entity that has any existence has to have an angel that is bridging between the 2 realities, simply because the light of the creator, the force of creation, is energy of sharing. And we are all the creations are beings of receiving. And you need something to bridge between those 2 seem to be opposites, even in our body, right? We have our soul, energy of sharing. We have our body consciousness, energy of receiving. And when you learn how to walk, and that's what we want to give you, when you learn how to walk with the angels, how to use the angels also when you're asleep. We spoke about the production that is taking place every single night by the angels, the production that is taking place to allow each and every dream to take place, each and every message to be delivered. And if we want to tap more into the limitless, that's where angels are for. So in this session, and also in the next episodes, we're talking about practical things that you can do to tap into the angels. You don't need to be a powerful master Kabbalist to learn how to walk with the angels. And it doesn't mean necessarily about seeing angels or talking to angels. I remember many times when people would, especially we're talking mainly before I came to the Kabbalah Center, if someone would tell me that they're talking to angels, I'm like, okay, let's see, how do I avoid this person forever? And now, looking back, we can see that there is so much more that is waiting for us that can be achieved. And in fact, many people know about angels. They don't necessarily connect with them, don't necessarily believe in them, but the bottom line is, and this is more accessible in certain ways than, let's say, the system of the Kabbalists, the chariots that we have covered before. So this is something that people know to one degree or another, believe it or not, that it's there. Maybe in different formats. We see it sometimes in movies. And we want to be able to tap into this energy, because the more you learn how to walk with them, and even if, let's say by now, maybe you walked with them 1% of the time and you were not even aware of it, even if we double it, or we take it to 5%, 10%, you are going to experience heaven on earth while you're awake, and especially when you're asleep.
Right. And I really encourage everybody to go back, if you haven't heard last week's episode, to listen to it, because it was quite mind-blowing. I don't want Mordechay to spend a lot of time on it because we have other things to talk about, but we talked about not only angels that are here from from the beginning of time, but also angels that we create ourselves. We want to make sure that we're also creating the best possible angels to support us as well. So I really recommend you going back and listening to the last episode.
Right. So, and throughout the whole process, we are focusing on learning to walk with the angels, and also learning how to create angels, because we learn that through our actions and through our speech, and also the seed of it is obviously consciousness. We create angels, the angels that last forever, angels that were created by the force of creation, the angels that last until they finish the task that they were created for. So we want to be able to, and you will see throughout the different attributes, how each and every one of those are there to support us in our sleep and in our awake time. And the big picture, we want also to give a better PR, better promotion for the angels. They've been waiting for this for thousands of years, for someone to give them a really, really good PR. Because when you hear the word angel, some people say, it's too fluffy, it sounds too spiritual, it sounds too out there. And let me tell you, it's very practical. And once you learn how to walk with them, I seriously doubted that you would want to go back to what you were before and how you operated before.
I can vouch for that.
I'm saying it from experience as a Taurus, as an earth sign that used to laugh when people would come to me about this kind of stuff and energies. I'm not saying that I see them, or I'm not going to go into all the details, but it doesn't matter. We want you to experience them. So you better your sleep, so you better your dreams, so you better your life.
All right.
Right. So the first attribute is the happiness. It's almost like a, if I'm saying it right, prerequisite. Right? Did I pass the test? Right. So this is the one of the prerequisites. If you really want to learn how to walk with angels, is to tap into happiness. And we're talking about natural happiness, not things that you need to take to feel happy, something that is awakened from the inside. And hopefully we'll be able also to address, what if someone is having it can be even a biological challenge, clinical challenge with being happy. So hopefully we'll be able to cover it. But if we want to be able to walk in a more effective way with angels, if we want to be able to be more aligned with them, to have more organic relationship. Remember, angels are a result, they are an outcome, they are created in also by the human beings, but also by the force of creation. Being a co-creator, we get to participate in creating angels, but the force of creation is in a long-lasting, everlasting state of happiness. And so one of the greatest attributes of angels is that they are, you might say, robotic consciousness, but they are programmed to be happy. And so one of the ways to create affinity with them is through happiness.
So can I ask a question then? Because
yes,
we've all heard of negative angels. We talked about last week creating negative angels. Are even negative angels inherently happy?
The answer is yes and no. No, because you know, when certain angels were created, the seed of it, let's say if the seed was sadness, so, or the seed was depression, or the seed was anger, or the seed was feeling lost. So the angel that is going to be created is embodying that energy.
Okay.
At the same time, the root of things, there is happiness there. Why? Because an angel feels, if we can say in that sense, feels their value, feels they're fulfilling their mission. That connects them to, you might say, even robotic happiness.
Okay.
So even if, let's say, the darkest angel that exists out there is still doing what he's meant to do, we feel happy when we are connected to our purpose. So it's not that they enjoy being negative, but you know, if someone is created, someone has to play that role, right? Like let's say in a movie, right? Batman, the Joker, someone has to play the Joker. Someone has to play the bad guy. So are you happy with the fact that you got this role? Obviously you're not thrilled to do that role because it's negative, but you're doing it because someone needs to do it, and you're doing it in that sense. That's what you were assigned to. That's part of your journey. So let it be. And so it's not happiness in the sense that we are familiar with, but sometimes we might have glimpses of it when we feel that we're going through something challenging, but we still feel inside, you know what? I'm not necessarily, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
You know, I feel that it's right, even though it's not easy for me. Sometimes, you know, you can have even a fight with your spouse, but deep inside, you know, wow, you know, with all this challenge, I know deep inside that this person is meant for me. Or I know deep inside that I love them.
Right.
So, okay, so this darkness, as the Zohar, the main text of Kabbalah says, light only emerge through the darkness.
Well, I just think it's very important and interesting to make that distinction because, you know, as you talked last week about how we create angels, and I'm sure you'll continue to talk about that, you know, it's important to know that what the seed is does change the purpose of the angel. Maybe that's it. Doesn't change the happiness,
Right.
but it changes the
Right.
purpose. And we should be aware of,
Yeah,
of the
the
fact that we're
angels,
creating angels that have a different purpose.
right, the angels that are negative, whether they were created by the force of creation or by us through our negative actions and negative words, which also create negative angels, none of them says to the force of creation, why did you create me this way? I don't want to do this. There's no such a thing.
Okay.
There's no such a thing because they're fulfilling their mission. It's a robotic consciousness that the seed of it, there's always happiness there. It's not necessarily, yes, the happiness of the positive angels we can more relate to, but the happiness of the negative angels, it's hard for us to relate to because we don't associate, the human brain doesn't associate negativity with happiness.
Right.
It's counterintuitive.
No, but I think you explained it very
there.
well.
Yeah, it's there. So you can receive more messages in your dreams, in your sleep, and even in your awake time, in an auditory way, in a visual way, kinesthetic way. Even when you're asleep, you can have a body sensation, heat, cold, shivering, sudden movement. You can hear messages like songs, melodies in the middle. You can have visions, obviously, in a dream, but you can have even a sensation in a dream. All of this is associated with the level of happiness that you have throughout the day. So every time you, and we'll talk about it, you initiate happiness, what happens in that moment, you create another angel. In fact, this morning, someone just shared with me, I'm still waiting for them to send me the story. Hopefully they'll hear me, so they'll send me the story about a Kabbalist that prayed with another Kabbalist. They did a special connection, and one of them was dancing. And it says that the angels took the prayer of the one that was dancing in a much more elevated state, even though the other one is a very powerful Kabbalist, still the one was dancing. So the student asked, how come his prayer was elevated, faster, stronger? So the other Kabbalist said it's very simple. Every movement that he makes creates another angel, another unification between the force of creation and the vessel. They don't just move because they move. They move because they create unifications, they create angels, they create elevations. So every single attempt, effort to create and generate happiness creates an angel that is happy, that is excited, that is there to support you. And when you go to sleep, especially with a smile on your face, as the Kabbalists also teach about Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, the author of the Zohar, the main text of Kabbalah, that as he left the physical reality, his face was shining and smiling. He left the physical world with a smile on his face. So when we go to sleep, we leave the physical world. 59 parts out of 60 parts of our soul leave the physical body, and with the help of the force of creation, return in the morning. And those 59 parts, do they live with a smile? If they live with a smile, you are guaranteed to have better dreams, better sleep, because the angels that were created during that day, they come to support those that are doing the production of the sleep and the dreams. And they say, you know, all day this person was busy with happiness. And you know what? Maybe they didn't have reasons to be happy, but they generate happiness that doesn't depend on anything. Happiness that is internal, not necessarily external. I'm waiting for something to happen and then I'll be happy. That's external happiness. It's also great. Obviously, would love to have great energy, great love, great wealth, great health. But it's almost like the chicken and the egg. Right. You want to have the external reasons to be happy? Generate those moments from inside and we can also pray for it and meditate on it. Give me happiness that doesn't depend on anything. And as a result, and we'll talk about the different things we can do, but as a result, the force of creation, the universe, which is mirroring our consciousness, is saying, oh, he's happy, he's dancing when everyone sees, when everyone don't see, he's smiling. And what for? Like, there's no reason. We're going to give this person, or even if there are reasons, we're going to give this person more reasons to be happy. Oh, you happy because of this? Ha! Wait till we give you so much more reasons to be happy.
Well, it makes me happy just to think about the fact that when I'm happy, I'm creating happy angels that are around me. Like, you know, it just, the vision that came into my head is like all these angels, like being created and smiling, and even angels that are always there, you know, being able to feel that energy of happiness. It almost makes me want to be happier, not just for myself, but for them as well, right? I want to have angels around. Who wants to create a sad angel? Or, you know, like, I know what happens, and we're not robots. We have emotions and all of that. What, you know, like it leads me to a good question. What happens when we're sad? You know, what happens when something, you know, we get angry sometimes, somebody does something that upsets us, or we do something ourselves, or when we're jealous, or whatever the reason is. Like, how is there a way to, I don't know, prevent you from creating an angel at that point? Or is there a way to go back and switch the energy?
So there's a way to switch the energy. You cannot avoid creating the angel.
Okay.
You know, it's like someone told my wife, you know what, I woke up this morning and I didn't feel like we're going out of the bed. So my wife said to this student, that's your choice and I respect it, but you need to know that by you choosing to not to wake up on the bed, you're feeling low, you're feeling like, what's the point? And not necessarily fighting it. You need to know that you're also planting seeds. And planting seeds also means creating angels. So there are different ways to convert it. The good news is that it's almost like scales, right? So if you're in the game of creating more positive angels, and okay, you created some that were not so positive, not so supportive, and negative doesn't always mean literally negative. It means like not serving us in the best way. Because I can be not too happy, not too excited, but you know what, not also like not in the too extreme. Just I'm there, you know, I'm doing my thing. So that also creates angels that are relatively negative because they're not really serving us. You know, when we need support, they'll say, oh, okay, you know, maybe I'll support you. I don't know. You know, I don't know. Should I support you?
I bet all of us have felt those angels before.
Yeah, so, and by the way, there is a spiritual connection that the Kabbalists do on Friday night. It's called Shalom Aleichem. It's inviting the angels. And that converts with the power of the Shabbat, the power of Saturday night, that converts any negative angels that were created during the week to make them positive.
Okay,
so you can also use the name from the 72 names of God for angelic influences that converts in the day-to-day negative angels to positive ones. So it's all doable, all waiting for you, and more messages will come through. There'll be more support. And it's much more fun.
It's much more fun. I mean, I think we all agree with that. And I think we all want to be generating our internal happiness for sure. And somebody on a spiritual path is looking to do that, right? To not be swayed by the external all the time.
And by the way, you know, as a side note, you know, what makes us heavy? You know, as a Taurus, I can relate to that. What makes us heavy? It's not our soul. Our soul is full. It's light. What makes us heavy is our body consciousness, our body. The body is what makes us heavy. Also, you can see it as an evidence Many people, when they sleep, they feel liberated. They feel limitless. Why? Because the body consciousness is not involved. So many times, even on the spiritual path, people take their path very seriously. In fact, too seriously. And sometimes you just gotta laugh. You just gotta generate happiness. Like, for example, not that it is now, but if it's too hot in the room, what are you gonna do? You know, and there's no one to help you. The air condition is broken. What are you gonna do? Start to laugh. So the angels that will be created about this, or like I'm having right now this really thick beard that is really annoying me. And you might ask why I'm not shaving, but that's a different story. It's a whole episode by itself. But what do I have to do? I can laugh about it, and then I can generate happiness, and then even if it's forcing myself to be happy, because what other choice do I have? Which reminds me the song, which I have no idea who sings it, and I have no idea the rest of the words. I don't remember them, but as a younger gentleman, I could remember the words, all of them. But as we age, things change. It goes like this: there's no other way. There's no other way. There's no other way. This is it. There's no other way. What are your options? The option is to be happy. That's the only way. That's the only way. We already tried heaviness. We already tried to be serious. Now, having said that, it doesn't mean that someone tells you their challenge, their problem, someone, God forbid, passed away, and you start to laugh at their face. Obviously, there has to be sensitivity. There has to be balance between being serious, but many times, for many people, most of the time, it's possible that we are too heavy than how we should. We're too serious than more than we should be.
Well, you know, it's interesting. We had a really good episode about happiness long time ago. I think it was season 1, specifically about happiness. And yes. I think what's so beautiful about it is that we didn't talk about how that connects to angels, but we did talk about how it connects to sleep. And what I find really useful about going into it again and reminding ourselves and understanding now, which we didn't then, that we have the ability to create these angels to support us, and that happiness is truly a foundational aspect of being able to get their support in everything we do, not just our sleep and dreams, but certainly our sleep and dreams is revolutionary. Like I said, for me, having that vision of angels, happy angels around me, because I'm generating happiness, is something that's going to stick with me, and I hope with others as well for them.
It reminds me that a few days ago I had those
is there allergies. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, so I had few days ago I had those allergies, and I was in the middle of a video session, and people are watching. So I just did like this. I said, it makes me so emotional, and I just took the tissue and wiped the tears that came out from my eyes. And obviously, it doesn't have to be so heavy. And when you choose to initiate and awaken and even pray and ask, give me happiness that is not conditioned by anything external and anything internal. Doesn't depend on anything, because true happiness, can never be the effect. Do I have challenges? Yes. Right. Do I have things that I'm facing? Yes. Am I perfect? Not yet. But I'm in the process. I'm in the journey. I'm in the training. So, what's my option, right? If I really choose, let me be. Yeah, well, you might say, I don't have too many reasons to be happy. But let me focus on what I can do. Because the reality is that every single second, every single moment, we create angels. It just is. So what are you going to do? So the more you are conscious, creating, oh my God, I'm creating angels now. I better be happy. You know what's
Yeah.
going on? That awakens a different, and you will see, once you start, it's contagious. And sometimes we forget, it's okay. You know, we're going to forget. So remind yourself, it's part of the journey. Awaken, start the engines again. Let's do it.
All right. I'm smiling from ear to ear, creating tons of happy angels.
Yeah,
and I'm doing it in a
there's no other
non-robotic way,
choice.
which I really love. No other choice. All right, Mordechay. Happy day.
Yes.
So what does that mean for sleep symbol of the week? Let's talk the language of dreams.
So what's this, you know, like a symbol that that is really powerful, which is associated with the energy of happiness, is hearing a melody or hearing a song in a dream. And the song by the Kabbalist, especially one of the greatest Kabbalists, the Esh Kodesh of Clonimus Kerman Shapira, he speaks about the energy of the song, the energy of the melody as a tool. Even melody is higher than a song, as a tool to elevate the consciousness. And one of the Kabbalists, Rav Naftali Tzvi of Rufshitz, explains, and he actually said it before he left the physical world, that he on his resting place on the stone, he wants to be written that he is going to the upper worlds with 4 different clothings. One is the clothing of happiness, one is the clothing of melody, one is the clothing of dance, and one is the clothing of humor. Now, what's interesting is you cannot really hear a good joke, hear a great song, or do like a really nice dance without being happy. It's a way, even if you're feeling low, it lifts you up. In fact, we're going to demonstrate very soon. So that's the reality. So if you're hearing in a dream a song, and it's not a song that you were listening to before maybe, or you hear a beautiful melody, it talks about, the symbol means elevation. You're going to experience elevation that is beyond logic, spiritual elevation that is beyond logic. Doesn't make sense.
Wow.
Right? Sometimes we also say, oh, this person is singing, his voice is like an angel. What? What do you mean like an angel? Have you ever heard an angel singing? How do you know his voice is like an angel? This is it. The songs, the melodies, they create angels. So the melody, the song amplifies the energy of elevation, and it implies on the energy of lifting up of the spirit, even getting your next level of spirituality. And if you're waking up in the morning with a song in your mind, in your heart, and you're singing it, it's a really good sign that you have elevated through that night's sleep. Hopefully it's a song that is positive, not like something that is depressive, putting people down, or with words that are limiting. So sometimes we want to connect just to melodies, because melodies are limitless.
It sounds amazing, and it doesn't really matter what the song specifically is, except if it's something that maybe you were going to bed sleeping, like you were singing before you went to bed, right?
Yeah.
Just to clarify.
Yeah, I mean, it's still good. It's still a great message, even if you were listening to it on repeat.
Okay.
Like I have a dance playlist that I created with time. And every time I add like another song that is positive and lifting me up, and already now it's like few hours, the playlist. And I let the phone choose anytime I need like a boost. This is great. So if you're dreaming about a song, if you have it in a melody that you already had before, it's great. It's great. It's great. It's still a great sign. But if you didn't listen to it lately, and you still had it, wow, it's just Beautiful,
Is
beautiful,
there any
beautiful.
time? Is there any time if you hear a melody or song in your dream that it's negative? Is there anything we need to watch out for? It's always positive.
I would say very rarely, unless in general, right? Unless if we're going into specific, unless the melody is associated to the individual with something that is related to a challenge. Because I remember once one of the speakers in the radio said that songs and melodies, they are like the audio, right? Like they are the sound of our movie, the
Soundtrack.
movie of our lives, right? The soundtrack.
Yeah,
Right?
soundtrack. The soundtrack of our lives.
Yeah, so if this is the soundtrack of our lives and there is a specific song or melody that is associated with in the individual's belief system and mind, associated with pain, associated with challenge, associated with loss, so that's something else, and that would require a session for a Kabbalistic dream interpretation to figure out what's exactly the message here. But otherwise, it's awesome.
Okay, perfect. All right, and something to sleep on for this week.
Something to sleep on this week. So we're going to give you the opportunity to pursue happiness daily. Especially try it for 1 week, and you can make a playlist. Remember the clothings of Rav Naftali Tzvi of Rufshitz, melody, dance, and humor. So in all those aspects, melody, create for yourself a playlist of melodies, songs that lift you up. Dance, you can do dance move in front of the mirror, on your way to the car, or on your way to walk, on your way to the dining table, on your way to the bathroom, on the way to the shower. You can even dance in the shower if it's safe, right? If you have this carpet at the bottom, right? That makes everything safe. So playlist, jokes, that's another thing, right? And dance. So even with the jokes, you want to listen at least once a day or watch something or read something that is funny, that is hilarious. And that will awaken. Every time you laugh, it creates more angels. And be conscious about it. And we're giving you also one of the names from the 72 names of God, which is the name that supports you in generating happiness from within. So it will draw more happiness from outside to your life.
Awesome. Sounds like it's going to be an incredibly happy week. I can hardly wait.
Oh, yeah.
I can hardly wait to start today. I'm so excited.
Get ready. And see if you feel the difference, because the moment you are more happy, the angels are like, oh, finally, he's in the groove. All right, now we're going to contact him. We've been waiting for you. Hello, all those years. But now that you're happy, you're already one step closer to be aligned with us. We're going to find our ways to communicate with you. And you will see it in your sleep, in your dreams, and in your awake time. Just keep on pushing.
All right, and let us know how it goes. We want to always hear from you. We love your questions and your feedback. So please let us know. You can find something to sleep on, the language of dreams, and all of our episodes on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at The Art of Spiritual Sleep. Please subscribe, please join, and please share, because as we
and please smile.
And please smile while you're doing it.
For God's sake.
And we want to make every person in this world. Can you imagine if 7 billion plus people in this world are sleeping better, dreaming better, and smiling all the time? How the world would look. So please, if this is something that you connect to and you're using the tools, please share it with anybody that you know, so that we can really deliver on Mordechai's mission.
And by the way, this episode is dedicated for you. You, this person that is watching us right now or listening to us, and you know you're not smiling. So you better stretch those cheeks right now.
And when you don't feel like doing it, just come back and listen to this again because it'll make you happy.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Mordechay. If one more reminder, if you want to find out about receiving a dream interpretation from Mordechay, please email him at dreams@kabbalah.com. And for the Art of Spiritual Sleep program, which is one-on-one with Mordechay, you can email him at artofspiritualsleep@kabbalah.com. We look forward to you having one of the best weeks you've had. Start connecting with the angels and just be happy, sleep well, and have lots of fantastic dreams.
And you can also email us at happiness@kabbalah.com. You probably won't get an answer, but it's a good exercise to awaken your happiness.
You never know. You never know.
You never know. You might get an answer.
You might get an answer from an angel.
God bless you,
Yeah.
and have a good night and happy sleep.